Holy fucking shit. Where do I even begin? I mean, this direct was just. I think we all agree, like, this was a little bit more than some of us expected. But the reason why is because so many things that we wanted and said, wouldn't that just be cool, actually came true. A lot of things weren't actually predictions. Like, I wanted a squad battle. I called it team battle, but I wanted a squad battle. But I didn't know if they would actually do that. I just was like, it makes so much sense for Smash. There's so many characters in Smash. Like, let us use all of them at once. Like, just let us actually use the characters. And the fact that they actually went and did it, so beautiful. But even little things, little tiny things, like a smash meter. So that way, if you don't use a smash ball or you don't want to use any items at all, you can still play with final smashes on. They'll be weaker because everyone will get them instant. Like, everyone's going to get a final smash because your meter's charging. So, and they're going to be weaker now. So it's going to be like, it's going to be less bullcrap to use them. So, like, this is amazing. This is awesome. The fact that you can have the last rule set you had on, so you don't have to always switch it from time to stock every single time you want to play stock battle, which is what everyone actually wants to play. No one wants to actually play time. Like, jeez, like, thank you, Sakurai. Thank you, Daddy Sakurai, so much. Oh, thank you. I'm channeling my inner Etika at this point. I don't care. Like, I'm so internally grateful. But now I'm going to talk about some of the exciting stuff. Of course, the gameplay mechanics, that is, of course, like, what really got me. But this video is important because, yes, I think we all knew Simon Belmont was going to be announced, and I was pretty certain he was going to be announced during this video, so I was more excited for the gameplay modes. But what I thought was it was going to be they were going to announce Simon Belmont and possibly one more Echo, and I was betting on either Chrom, Dark Samus, or Isabelle. I didn't think they would show Shadow, for example. Even though I do think he'll be in the game, I didn't think they would actually show him yet. But what they showed was both Chrom and Dark Samus, but they also showed Richter and then dropped K. Rool, which I thought they would be saving for later. But if you do remember, while I didn't say he'd be the next character shown, I'm so glad I did this. I actually got a video out in time saying I predicted King K. Rool as the most likely character. That I think King K. Rool is like a no-brainer. The fact that Ridley's in the game, the fact that he's so requested, he won the Smash ballot in Japan, at least from what Source Gaming could figure out. We don't know like the actual numbers, but he's an extremely popular character, especially from Japan. And the fact that they put Ridley in, it's like, how could you put in Ridley and not K. Rool? So I thought K. Rool has to be the most likely, 99% positive chance by me. I was super confident he would appear in Smash. And I gotta say, after seeing his gameplay, I used to say in Smash 4, like, if King K. Rool, like, there's no point putting him in, like, because his moveset would probably suck. And I gotta say, looking at that moveset, it doesn't look that good. It looks pretty shitty, honestly. He does not look that cool. I feel like of all 5 characters they showed, he's the one I'm least excited to play. I'm literally more excited to try both versions of Belmont and the other Echoes over King K. But he's important it's very important that he's in this game. It's a big deal that he's in this game. It makes a lot of people happy, and I'm sure I will like him more than King DDD, or I would like him more than one of the other characters. And I will say that his gun move, his like pirate gun move, looks pretty dope. That's definitely his dopest looking attack. But he's literally a ranged heavy character, and I don't think there is a zoning heavy character so far. Yeah, I can't think of anyone. Unless you count King DDD's Gordos that he throws, but that's only one move, and the rest of his moves are all medium to short range. K. Rool has a lot of range attacks, so yeah, that's really cool to see. Like, he does fit a role that isn't filled yet. So, but also I've been saying lately that there's no point in adding in a new character unless they significantly change the style of the game, which Inkling and Ridley did. and the new characters of Smash 4 all did. But I also said in my direct predictions that, which was also my Evo video, sorry, but what I said was that I need to know more information about Smash Ultimate in order to properly predict what's going on in this game. And now I see that they're just throwing in characters that work. Like, K. Rool is in the game, baby, and he does fill a role that wasn't there, but it wasn't game changing. I don't believe it was. But it fulfills this role and it's awesome. Whereas I would say Simon Belmont does kind of change the game a little bit. He's very unique. His whip attack is... I thought they would do this. They make it play just like Castlevania... Super Castlevania. I was going to say Castlevania 4. That is Super Castlevania. The Super Nintendo game, it's on the Super Nintendo Classic. And guys, look to the SNES Classic. I don't know if I said this on a video, but I always said it was interesting how on the NES Classic they put in Final Fantasy and Mega Man, and on the SNES Classic they put in Final Fantasy and Mega Man, because those characters, Mega Man and Cloud, are in Smash 4. And I always said, like, maybe that means Castlevania might be in the next one, or it might be a character later. But the thing is that a lot of us were under the impression that Konami and Nintendo weren't on good terms until they announced that Snake and Bomberman were in the game. You know, and yeah, I know Bomberman's an assist trophy, but to me, he's in the game. If he's in the game, if he's in the game in any capacity, I don't care if he's playable or not, he's in the game. Bomberman is in the game. Shovel Knight is in the game. Now, I was at first thinking it would be really cool to be a playable character, and when you look at him as an assist trophy, he's like bouncing off multiple people with his shovel, just like he does in the game, which is how I thought that would make him a little bit more unique if they did that, so he's not just doing Link's down stab. But they made that in as an assist trophy. I think that's for the best, because I think if he was a playable character, that could be weird. Especially because he's got to be in, like... I feel like if he wants to be a playable character, then Yacht Club needs to make another Shovel Knight game or something. But either way, he's in the game, and he looks dope as an assist trophy. So, but guess who's not an assist trophy? We got to get to this. I got to get to this right now. I can't delay any longer. I'm sorry if I'm going on a huge tangent and if I've missed my original purpose. But who's not an assist trophy is Shadow the Hedgehog. And Shadow the Hedgehog is not an Echo, but they showed a third-party Echo of Simon Belmont, giving us not just Simon, but Richter. If they would have only showed Simon now, then none of us would have ever considered the fact that Richter would be in the game, because we would be like, oh, well, it's a third-party character, so we don't know if third parties are going to get Echoes or not. We're not there yet. But holy shit, guys. The Echo possibilities are completely open. The floodgates are open. The seal is torn. The seal's been broken. We have a third-party Echo, and it's Richter Belmont, of all the fucking people. And what I love about this direct is it starts off, and it's just like, boom! We love Castlevania. Like, Look at all the enemies from Castlevania, and guess what? They're all on the stage, all of them. And guess what? There's a whole shit ton of different boss battle possibilities that could happen, and one of them's Dracula, but one of them's Death. And remember, I made an assist trophy video where I said characters who might have assist trophies. I was right about Gray Fox, but holy shit, they put in Zero. Oh my god! But they also did Alucard, and I was thinking they might do Death or Dracula over Alucard, but they put them in the stage. And that is crazy to me, because most stages have like one boss. But Dracula's Castle has a bunch of bosses. So, yeah, and we got Alucard. And remember, I was saying, like, oh, the guest character will probably just be like random enemies. It won't have anyone who has significance to the main story. Zero has a ton of significance to the lore of Mega Man. Not just from Mega Man X, but because the thing is, Zero is created by Dr. Wily, which is Mega Man's nemesis. He's Mega Man X's like mentor and like best friend, and he's in the Mega Man Zero franchise as well, which is based way after Mega Man X. It's like based in the apocalypse of the Mega Man universe, and Zero's like the savior of that universe. So like, Zero is a big fucking deal in Mega Man. So the fact that they actually put him in and not just being a normal trophy is really damn cool, especially because he's the one representing all of Mega Man with assist trophies. Now, we didn't get to see a Street Fighter assist trophy or a Final Fantasy VII / Final Fantasy in general assist trophy. The fact that they showed Zero and Alucard means to me that it doesn't have to be a character from the same game. So, for example, just because they put in Cloud from Final Fantasy VII doesn't mean the assist trophy has to be Tifa or Barret. It could even be Terra from Final Fantasy VI or Cecil from Final Fantasy IV. It's literally just as likely. But I also am not exactly sure if Street Fighter and Final Fantasy will have Echo Fighters yet. But maybe they will, and they just haven't showed it yet. But, either way, I'm not saying they will, I'm not saying they won't. I'm just like, for right now, I'm not going to think about it, because I've already said what I think they would be if they were. The fact that they went with Alucard is great. The fact that they went with Alucard is perfect, but it's even more better the fact that Richter is also a playable character, which is the first Echo of a third party. Oh, and to me, this bumps Shadow's chance of being like a 60% chance of being like... The reason why I gave it like a 60% chance was because I figured it was like a 50-50, because I didn't know if they were going to do Echoes for third parties or not. And then I figured it would be more than 50%. It'd be 10% higher. It'd be 60%. Because if they're going to do an Echo Fighter of any third party, it's going to be Shadow the fucking Hedgehog. Not just a Sonic Echo. Like, it's not going to be Tails. It's not going to be Amy. It's going to be fucking Shadow. Right? And, oh my god. They didn't deconfirm him by showing his the Shadow Assist Trophy. Also, if you notice, they didn't show Waluigi. But we'll get to that. They didn't show Waluigi, which I think, to me, I still haven't seen him in-game. I've only seen him during that little thing during the Direct. To me, he's open game. He's open season. I think it's possible. However, I don't know if Sakurai is that much of a mastermind troll, so maybe he'll be DLC later, and they're just going to remove him, or maybe he'll just be Assist Trophy and DLC. I mean, I don't know, maybe. Or maybe his assist trophy will be replaced with someone else. I mean, really, I don't know, but I think there's a lot of possibilities as far as these characters. But I do think that Shadow is like a 90% chance. Man, maybe 80. But at this point, I think Shadow has a very high chance. But that's Echo. I think Shadow's probably who I would consider to be the most likely character to be announced. They said they're going to announce every character before the game comes out, and we just have to wait for more. I think that Shadow is most likely going to be the next character announced. Not next character announced. I think he's going to be the most likely character of all the characters I can think of. Like, I think Shadow is more likely than all of them. And that means I think he's higher than Geno. However, he is going to be an Echo. And I know some people don't like the idea of Shadow being an Echo, because to them, Shadow isn't just a Sonic clone. He does his own attacks. Now, if you look at Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Heroes, he's basically an Echo of Sonic in the Sonic games already. It's in Sonic 06 and Shadow the Hedgehog that he's not as much, but those games are not popular and not beloved. They're not something that people need to see represented. But I'll make a compromise with you. Chrom. This Direct is so beautiful because not only did it show us Richter, which gave us a ton of info on Echoes, because hey, they don't have to be first party; they can be third party. But then you look at Chrom. Chrom is an Echo of Roy. A lot of us were expecting him to be an Echo of Ike. Some people are saying because, well, for example, Lucina's already an Echo of Marth, so it would make no sense to do an Echo of Marth. But with Ike, he's the most different, who's still a sword user. He fights slower, but Ike has ether. And Chrom has ether. Now, Chrom's ether is a little bit different from Ike's. Chrom doesn't throw his sword up in the air, but Chrom and Lucina both use ether in Fire Emblem Awakening. Hell, they both use it in Fire Emblem Warriors, but they definitely both use it in Fire Emblem Awakening. They gave Chrom Ether, and the rest of his moveset is from Roy, but without fire attacks. They gave Chrom a unique and special up B that's not the same as Ike's, though it is similar. They gave Chrom his complete own unique up B. So if they put Shadow in as an echo of Sonic, they could give him a unique up B where he does a teleport move, sort of like how Zelda teleports for her up B. I'm already comparing Chrom's up B, which is completely unique, to Ike's up B because they're very similar. People could compare Shadow's up B to Mewtwo's and Zelda's, but there could be some other, something special about it, but a teleport Chaos Control style move for Shadow would be perfect. It would show that he has Chaos Control. And then you could maybe give him Chaos Spear as his final smash, or possibly make his final smash Chaos Blast, or just go with Super Shadow. I think people will be happy no matter what. As long as Chaos Control is represented there, then people will be happy. Of course, you could make one of his taunts, him pulling out the green Chaos Emerald, which is... Shadow's always, has the green Chaos Emerald. I don't know why. Sonic sometimes has a blue one, sometimes he has a yellow one, but Shadow almost always has the green one. And so I feel like that's what they would do if they had him there. And I feel like people can't bitch and complain. Because to me, I feel like Shadow should be an Echo because Shadow hits the trampoline just like Sonic. And then besides that, they have all the same moves. People say Shadow has Chaos Control, so does Sonic, but Sonic just only does it in one game. Shadow does it a lot. Shadow likes using the Chaos Emeralds to attack. Now, I'm thinking now that Chrom's here, for Richter makes it possible for Shadow to be an Echo in Smash Ultimate. Chrom says don't cry about it, because just because he's an Echo doesn't mean he will be 100% a clone of Sonic. He might have something else that makes him a little bit more unique, but he might fight extremely similar to Sonic. And I already said this I've been saying Shadow should be an Echo for a long time, but I've been getting a lot of resistance, and one of my friends I talk to about Smash all the time, and my little brother, who I basically trained to be really good at Smash, both said to me Shadow shouldn't be an Echo. And I rolled my eyes, because I already said, I already made a video about why Shadow should be an Echo, and it's annoying that people still are like, but he is unique enough. And I'm like, no, he's not. He does, two things different from Sonic. He's not that unique. Especially considering the fact that he's the most unique Shadow's ever been are in games that are universally hated by the community. However, and also, they're not going to give Shadow a gun. Snake doesn't even get to use, a regular gun. They're not going to give Shadow a gun. But secondly, the thing is, though, what happens is I say, but Chrom's up B is different than Roy's. And then they go, oh shit, well then Shadow can be an Echo now. They both straight up, all I say is that, and they're both like, oh, Shadow should be an Echo. And I said it to them in different conversations where they weren't in the same room. They were not influenced by each other at all, and they both came to the same conclusion. That's how awesome this idea is. So, now, if we're not counting Echoes, Shadow's definitely, I think, has a 90% or maybe an 80% chance. I think Shadow is so likely, but I'm going to say he's the most likely I can predict for an Echo. Geno is going to happen. I think I had Geno at maybe a 75 or an 80%, and now I feel like he's at 95 or 99%. It's not just the fact that Sakurai has said that he wanted him in Brawl but couldn't do it. King K. Rool has not been in a fucking Donkey Kong Country game in a very long time. His moveset, he has a move from DK1, DK2, his jetpacks from DK3, and he has the boxing glove from DK64. Holy shit. He's not been in a game in a long while. He's not in Returns or Tropical Freeze. He's not in the new Donkey Kong games. Okay? K. Rool has kind of been forgotten, even by the Donkey Kong franchise. And yet, here he is in this game. And yet, here he fucking is. What is the incentive? How does that sell anyone on Donkey Kong? It doesn't. It merely celebrates the lore. How does putting Richter Belmont in the game incentivize? Like, what is the incentive for Nintendo at all to put Richter Belmont in the game? Does there need to be two Belmonts? No, but it makes like some people who are fans of Castlevania happy. Some people prefer Richter to Simon because Richter was in Symphony of the Night, which he wasn't the main character of Symphony of the Night, but he also starred in his own game that was actually pretty good. That we didn't really get in America until the PSP, but I've heard from a lot of people who've played the PSP version that it's great. I mostly know Richter just from the opening of Symphony of the Night, which I'm totally fine with. I like his design more than Simon's. But like, you can't put Richter in over Simon. That's just bullshit. But they did it. They put both in. They didn't have to do that. It's unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. So when you look at K. Rool, and you looked at Richter, Gino's happening. Gino's fucking happening. I think because every time a new Smash comes out, there's a bunch of new Nintendo games that people say there's going to be new characters from the new games. The characters are going to have new moves from the games. Mario's going to have the Super Soaker move. Link's going to be from Twilight Princess now. People say stuff like that. Characters are going to represent their newest iterations. Every time there's a new Smash, there's new Pokemon. And they go back and they pick some of the new Pokemon that they missed out on. We got Lucario in Brawl. We got Pichu in Melee. That counts. And we got, that was a Gen 2. We got, and then we got, Greninja in 4. And when you look at Fire Emblem, it's the same thing. Ike was new, so they put Ike in Brawl. And then Robin and Lucina were new, so they put them in Smash 4. Chrom is not new, my friends. There is going to be a new Fire Emblem game. And guess what? There was also Fire Emblem Fates. And guess what? There was also that other Fire Emblem game that came out on 3DS that was like a remake of Fire Emblem 2. They didn't put any of that shit in. They put in Chrom from Awakening. Why? Because Awakening is the most popular Fire Emblem game. That's why. Why did they put Chrom in? Because people wanted Chrom. That's why they put fucking Chrom in. Why did they put in Dark Samus? Because people wanted Dark Samus. That's why they put Dark Samus in the game. Dark Samus is a big deal, and Dark Samus looks hella dope. Dark Samus looks fucking awesome. I'm, like, really excited to play as Dark Samus. So, like, it's not about new characters. It might have been in Smash 4. Because Little Mac, you could even argue, and Rosalina had Mario Galaxy, so she was a new character. But Little Mac, you could argue, a lot of his looks now are taken from the Wii version. In fact, even Gigamac is from the Wii version. So Little Mac is mostly from the Wii version of Punch-Out. So you could argue that Little Mac is in the game thanks to the Wii version. And again, these are all like new characters. Of course, there's always like one retro character, but Gino and K. Rool is a retro character at this point because he hasn't been in a game since he's been in like the spin-off games, but he hasn't been in like a mainline Donkey Kong game in a while. I think Gino is so likely it's ridiculous. I think Gino is 100% going to be in the game. I think it's just so obvious at this point. My only question is, how will he fight? Because there's a lot of different possibilities and options. But I trust Sakurai to come up with a really great moveset. If I looked at like a moveset made from like a one of those Smash games or like one of the mods or whatever, I probably don't know if they would go with something like that for Gino. But Gino, I think is going to happen. I also think Isabelle is going to be an Echo. I know people talked about it as a rumor. She's way too popular of a character to not appear in the game. The fact I thought Assist Trophy was perfect for her. But the fact she's not an Assist Trophy, and they added in Captain, there's even more Assist Trophies from Animal Crossing. I think she's going to happen. Now, you might say she might be her own character. I feel like she's going to be an Echo of Villager because what would you give her? She doesn't do anything besides walk around. So making her an Echo Villager would be absolutely perfect. She could have two costumes because she has like the summer and the fall costumes for her. So yeah, I think Isabella will be probably in the game. I think she's got a very high chance. Besides that, who do I think after that? Man, oh man, oh man. I mean, I honestly, when it comes to third parties, it's got to be Heihachi. But I don't know if there will be another third party necessarily. I don't. But a lot of people have been. This meme's been floating around. Two characters from Capcom, Mega Man and Ryu. Two characters from Sega, Sonic and Bayonetta. I almost call her Belmont. Two characters from Konami, Snake and Simon Belmont. Two characters from what was the other? What was the last one? I don't even remember. Did I go through them all already? Sonic, Mega Man. Oh, Square Enix. If they put in Geno, then it'll be two characters from Square Enix, Cloud and Geno. I know some people might say, "Oh, Geno." Yeah, we'll get over it because Sora is coned by Disney, which means Sora's probably not gonna happen. Even though it would be really damn cool, Sora's probably not happening, guys. And if they did another Square Enix character, if they didn't do Chrono from Chrono Trigger, then it would be just another Final Fantasy character or something. And I just don't see it happening. So what I'm thinking is, it's going to be Geno for Square Enix, to be Cloud and Geno from Square Enix. If that's the case, then every company has two representatives in it, except for Namco. And it's got to be Heihachi. It's got to be Heihachi. Now, I kind of came up with some ideas for what would make Heihachi a little bit more interesting. Maybe he could have a move where different Tekken characters come out and do attacks. Like, obviously, it'll only be one of his special attacks. It'd be like his down B or his forward B. Like, maybe his counter is that Kuma just pops up and smacks you, or Kazuya punches you or something of that nature. Besides that, though, I don't think he'll have any ranged attacks at all. I think he'll just be a crazy combo master. Tekken is about combos. Ryu has some combos, but the combos are actually similar to how you would do combos in Street Fighter. Combos were in Melee, but they've been, they're not really possible to do now in Brawl or Smash 4. And I don't think they're going to be that much of a thing in Smash Ultimate. But I do think this is probably the closest we'll get to having like some actual combos. But we'll probably still have some good chain attacks and stuff like that. And, things that do link into like a combo in some ways, but it won't be like how it was in Melee. But what we will get is something like, I think Heihachi might have the capacity to have some sort of system that makes them have a lot of chain attacks. Maybe it'll be something like how Bayonetta has the up B to side B. He might have like a side B to up B to forward B to B, like be able to chain combo all of his A and B attacks into just a bunch of attacks. My biggest thing with Heihachi, though, is that I think this is why he wasn't in Smash 4. Because a lot of us thought there'd be a Tekken character in Smash 4. And then we're like, oh no, but they don't want to do other fighting game characters. But then they added in Ryu as DLC. I'm thinking when it comes to Heihachi, it's the fact that he just fights with punching and kicking that makes me think he won't be in the game. Now they could, when it comes to Tekken characters with range, there's Devil Jin and Alyssa, but why put Devil Jin in and not just regular Jin? If they put in Kazuya from Tekken, then maybe he could use Laser Eyes. But like, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. At least with Heihachi, he could do his like spinning kick with his forward B, and then his up B be his big uppercut, and like again, you could probably link those into a combo. I'm thinking Heihachi will just be a really up close character who has combo attacks. I think that's good enough to make him in the game. Also, that would be a unique new character. I already said they don't have to be unique new characters, but obviously if you can, that's the best way to do it. So Heihachi, I do think still has a chance, but I'm saying he has like a 75% chance, which is still pretty high. But I'm not saying, I'm thinking he's under Shadow, Geno, Isabelle, and then it's Heihachi. Besides that, as far as another character, man, oh man, it really is hard to call at this point because so many dreams have come true. I really wanted Chrom, and Chrom didn't hit me for a while. Dark Samus didn't even hit me for a while either. But some people started predicting it. How crazy is it that we went from having 2 Metroid characters to having 4 Metroid characters? That is fucking brilliant. And yeah, we have 3 Links and 3 Samuses, and I think that's really fitting. I think that's super fair and justified. Like, Samus is an important character who's appeared in a lot of different games. The Metroid Prime series, for example, just the Metroid Prime trilogy, is so important. So, like, for crying out loud, give Samus some love. Rep that game, man. Rep that game. As far as after that, I do think Waluigi is actually possible to be in the game. But I'm not saying, like, is that my 5th choice? It's hard to say, but it's like they showed the monster from Monster Hunter, the dragon that's always on the cover of everything. He's an assist trophy. I think that's a really good call because Monster Hunter is so beloved right now. I think it's a super good call, but at the same time, it does kind of deconfirm any main character from Monster Hunter because I didn't like the idea of having like an avatar character from Monster Hunter because it's like they did that in Marvel vs. Capcom, which is fine because it's Marvel vs. Capcom, but like it would be like you're just making up your own character. It's like just whatever you. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. So any character with a main character, I don't know. Like Robin and Corrin. Corrin has a lot of personality. He's a lord and an avatar at the same time. Most Fire Emblem games don't have that. But now we have the actual Lord from Awakening, because Robin's not a Lord character. But Robin was the Avatar character, but he kind of had some personality to him. But I don't know, at least, I don't know, Robin even kind of is weird. But at least he has some personality. But making like a default Monster Hunter character, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, if they wouldn't have shown the monster from Monster Hunter and not him, like they had to do both or one, and they decided to put in a stage for Monster Hunter and the monster for Monster Hunter. Now they said there's still more characters to come. I do believe that we might get something crazy. We could get something crazy. It could be Banjo levels of crazy, but would it be Banjo? My whole video I said Banjo shouldn't be in the game. It's kind of like, and it's also why I said they might not even want to do Shadow unless they just want them to do fan service, which I think Echoes are kind of there for. When I'm looking at K. Rool and Richter, I'm kind of realizing that they're not just doing things, like they're doing things they have no incentive to do. They're just trying to do cool things to make this game really cool and make people happy, And that's cool. That's really cool. That's really something special. So, I don't know. I think it's, I think that if Banjo could be in the game, but I think when it comes to DLC, he's a very high likely chance. I don't think he is going to be in the main game. Same with Springman and with Rex and Pyra. I don't think those guys are going to be in the game from the start. But I do think they are perfect, logical choices for DLC. So, and I think everyone should be happy about that. DLC is still going to be a thing, guys. But also, so we had like 68 confirmed characters from in the game. I don't know how people came up with that number, or like where they counted from. There's 65 if you don't count the 3 Echoes, but then Pokemon Trainer is 3 of the characters that people count. So like you subtract 2, then it's like, and then you add the 3 Echoes, then it's like 67. But I'm gonna say 68 just because Squirtle and Ivysaur literally are characters that play unique, and you could play an entire match as just them without changing. So yeah, I'll count them all. But now we have 5 more announced on top of that, making the number like 73. And I was thinking the full game would possibly have 75 characters, and now, considering how they just threw Echoes, they doubled the number of Echoes. There was 3, and they announced 3 more. Now, will they announce 3 more on top of that? I don't know, but Shadow and Isabelle, yes, they're happening. Like, that's going to happen. And you know, then you look at Gino and Heihachi. I think that that's who we'll see next is Heihachi and Gino. I don't know. I don't know who else they could even do. They deconfirmed Ashley. People were thinking Ashley. They deconfirmed Ashley, deconfirmed Shovel Knight, which I even already kind of gave up on that myself. But I don't know, man. At the end of the day, it's looking it's super exciting and super good. This is all really good things. I definitely think the thing I'm most excited for is when they said here's two more echoes, I was like Shadow, do Shadow, but they showed Chrom first, and then I was like, I expected Chrom. I was kind of on the fence about it. I really wanted him, but I thought he was gonna be an Ike Echo, and the fact he's a Roy Echo makes me really excited. Mainly because I kind of want to get really good as Ike, and if they put in Chrom, they'd be like, oh, I'm probably going to play Chrom instead of Ike, but that kind of puts a wrench into what I want to do, because he's probably going to be the fast version of Ike, but he's not Ike, he's Roy, and that's awesome. Like, I'm going to use Lucina instead of Marth, I'm going to use Chrom instead of Roy, and I'm going to love it. Like I said, if a character is in this game in any capacity, then I'm going to say they're in Smash. And people might say, what? Shovel Knight's playable? What? Zero is playable? No, Zero and Shovel Knight are assist trophies. So is Gray Fox. That counts to me. They're in the game. And I honestly, bosses are the same way. But bosses are definitely the lamest. There's bosses, then assist trophies, and characters. I say bosses, assist trophies, echoes, and characters. But, yeah. And yo. I love that I argue with people about if echoes will be on the character select screen or not. Because I was saying there probably won't be a shit ton of echoes because they're still going to fill up character slots, and so it'd be weird if like they had just a whole row full of different echoes. And then they said that you can make it to where it shows everyone or the same character slot. And I argued with someone if it was already confirmed someone was trying to say that echoes are already on the same character and that they're basically just glorified costumes. And I remember being like, no, no, that's not how that works. And then Sakurai's like, fuck it, it's both. You can choose to be where the character select screen's just one massive character select screen, or if you want to trim some of the fat because there's no need to have all those characters on screen. But to me, I'm gonna have it to where all characters are on the screen at the same time. I like it that way. I know it's gonna be crazy trying to navigate through all of the characters, but like, I like it that way. I don't want people to forget that they can pick a different character because the echoes do fight differently enough. For me personally, I think that Lucina and Marth are actually different, and picking one doesn't mean you're gonna be the same as the other. So, I think it is important to use to have them out, but the fact that you could choose is good, especially if you're someone who's only going to play as one or the other. Like, you might as well trim the fat off the character select screen and make it to where if you're only going to use Marth and you're never going to use Lucina, then just keep Lucina back there. Or if you're going to only use Dark Samus, you don't want to use regular Samus, and just keep Dark Samus up front. That stuff makes sense. So yeah, I'm gonna leave everyone on the screen for sure. One last thing. I probably should have put this in earlier. One last thing. That green pixeled out mode that they showed. There was also something on the sidebar that was pixeled out. I don't know what those modes are gonna be, but it's under Smash, and it's next to Online, and it's next to Games and More. So it's not anything like that. Whatever that green mode's going to be is a big deal. I'm thinking if they were going to put in adventure mode like in Melee, it would be under Games and More. Because Classic is under Games and More. You see what I'm saying, guys? I'm thinking Subspace Emissary had its own section like that. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be Subspace Emissary, but I am saying that's probably going to be a single-player story mode. It's going to be some kind of story mode. Subspace Emissary was a kind of story mode. This is going to be the same way. It's going to be some variation of a story mode. I think a lot of people don't want it to be subspace. I think what people want is something more akin to Melee's adventure mode, but instead of being to where you pick one character and go through every game, you go through every game in the game, like every game in the game. That sounds weird to say. You go through every game from every character in the game, and it's like a long journey. And I think people kind of want it to be like where there are scenarios like in Melee, or that's I'm sorry, like in Brawl. So one of the coolest things about Brawl was the fact that Mario and Pit are in the clouds together, fighting together at the very beginning. Right after that, it's like you get to be Donkey and Diddy, and you fight off Bowser's kingdom. Bowser's sending all the Koopas and Goombas, but they're attacking Donkey Kong's country. They're not attacking the Mushroom Kingdom. And you're not fighting Donkey. You're not fighting King K. Rool, for example. It's Donkey Kong, who's another platformer, versus Bowser, the enemy of Nintendo's bigger platformer. And the two-player mode lets you be Donkey and Diddy at the same time, and that's really damn cool. So, and what they could do here is let you be. They do something similar, where it's like an all-out civil war, especially because they're adding in more villains, not just Dark Samus, but and of course Wolf has returned, but with Ridley and with K. Rool, there are more villains, and they could do like this all-out civil war from all the forces of evil attacking all these different forces of good, and then of course, it would be pretty cool, and they could do different scenarios like that where, one of the coolest things about Brawl was those team ups, like, oh, Pokemon Trainer teams up with Lucas and Ness, like that's cool. Ike and Marth teamed up with Meta Knight because they're all sword users, that's cool. Like there's a lot of little cool things, and I don't know if they're going to do this because the development time and all the cutscenes in for these like character trailers, these character reveal trailers are really good. The one for Simon Belmont was amazing. It like Luigi was in it, and he was like going around Dracula's castle like it was a haunted mansion. Like it was fucking cool, and I don't know if they're going to do stuff like this for the cutscenes in the story mode. I kind of doubt it. But the scenarios that they put you in the story mode in Subspace Emissary was really fun. But I do think that it might be some sort of very long style campaign, a very long style adventure mode. And something I liked about adventure mode from Melee was that Mario was just walking forward, but Zelda was navigating a maze because Zelda is about dungeons. In Metroid, you go forward, fight a boss, and then you have to leave and run away before self-destruct. Stuff like that is cool. What if they made like a Sonic level that's based around just like speed and like you're just trying to go through get past the enemies, and stuff like that. You just have to get to the end as fast as possible. What if they make a Mega Man level that has like crazy platforming in it, where you have to like really be careful, watch your steps and stuff like that, kind of like in the Mega Man games. What if they do something like there's so many things they could do with all the games involved for adventure mode. I just think it's a good idea, but I'm not exactly sure what that green mode is. All I will say for sure is that it's probably some kind of story mode, because a lot of the other modes it could be would most likely just be in Games and More. Especially because we have already seen squad battle and tournament and stuff like that, and online has its own little box on the main menu. So whatever that is, I believe we will see that in the next Direct, which probably won't be for a while. It probably won't be till... Fuck, man. It probably won't be till October. I think Smash was announced late June during E3. Then we had to go through July, and then we had to get to August to where we could finally see another video. And the game comes out in December, so to me it makes sense if they would do another video for October, and then finally The game's out in early December. So I'm hoping early October we'll get to see another video. So we just gotta survive through September. And I'm thinking they'll go through a lot of the story mode, show us what it's like, who we unlock, but I'm sure we'll also get to see a new character revealed. And it'll probably be Gino. Or it'll be Heihachi first and then Gino last. Either way, yeah. So that's kind of what I'm predicting. I will listen to other ideas as I look at them, but some of them are always a little too radical for me. People really want characters from Rhythm Heaven, and I don't think so, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rhythm Heaven fans. I don't think it's gonna happen. But oh yeah, man. There's a lot to. This game's perfect, man. This game's so good. I will not be upset. I wouldn't have been upset. With like already what they showed in Smash Ultimate. All I was saying is that they should probably add a few more characters because it'd be really weird if they just released Smash Ultimate like the E3 version with only 3 more characters. It's like, okay, why? It's but this is perfect. If the game came out just like this, I would be really happy, but I already know we're gonna get a new story mode. Or we're gonna get something. I don't know what the green mode will be. But the fact it's going to be a new mode, and the fact that Sakurai said there will be a few more characters, that's enough for me to say I am completely trusting in this game. I think this game's going to be great. It's so good, and there's so many good things going on with this game already that it's like, holy shit! Like if you don't got a Switch yet, you need to get a fucking Switch, okay? And you need to Smash is going to be too good, dude. Smash is going to be so fucking good. I think everyone agrees. I think we're all hyped. I think everyone was blown away today. And it's 7:30. I haven't even played as Goku and Vegeta in Fighter Z yet, and I'm actually excited to see how they play. So I gotta get the fuck off this, play as Goku and Vegeta, and not to mention I have to make a whole fucking video about Goku and Vegeta because the character select screen, I made a prediction about the fucking character select screen of all things, and the character select screen's not what I thought it was going to be, which kind of makes me unsure of what they're going to do at all. But I mean, here we go, man. Here we go. So of course they also I'm not here to talk about fighters. I'm gonna get off this video right now and I'm gonna play some fighters, and so I can have a more solid opinion on Goku and Vegeta. And all I can say is sham wow, I am fucking hyped. Like, I can't stop thinking about Simon and Richter and the fact that they're in the game. They look so good. Seeing is a lot different from just predicting. Seeing your dreams come true, Chrom looks better than I ever could have expected. I did not expect him to be a Roy clone. And then you got Dark Samus looking fucking badass as fuck. So, I'm ecstatic and I'm so happy. I can't wait. So, this game is going to be awesome. I already said I made my points. I think Shadow and Gino are most likely going to be in the game. We will see what happens, my friends.